Tom Aspinall might just be the most naturally gifted athlete the UFC's heavyweight division has ever seen. Speed, power, timing, it's all there. But what really sets him apart isn't just the raw talent, it's the mind behind the talent.
That power from that close is very impressive.
And when you look at his last three victims, the way they've all sort of crumbled under his pressure, unbelievable.
And for today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to try out some dual commentary with myself and our excellent editor, Christian. So, without further ado, Christian, take it away.
Thanks, Coby. Just before I start, I just wanted to let everyone know we do actively read every single comment, and we are trying to make the changes and taking the feedback that you guys give us to make the channel as great as we possibly can. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. Aspinall doesn't fight like a brawler. He fights like a tactician who happens to be built like a tank. He knows exactly what makes him dangerous, and more importantly, how to weaponize it.
Those leg kicks will pay dividends.
Every jab, every angle, every step he takes inside that octagon, it's calculated to maximize his strengths and minimize the opponent's chance of survival. He's not just athletic, he's aware. And that's what makes him truly elite. Tom Aspinall's size and athleticism, that's just the opening act. Because once the bell rings, what really shines is the chess player behind the power. Sharp, reactive, and 2 steps ahead. He's not just running over heavyweights, he's solving them fast. So how does he do it?
Tom Aspinall isn't just dominating the heavyweight division, he's laying out a blueprint. And if you train, whether it's striking, grappling, or just sharpening your fight IQ, you'll want to watch this all the way through. Because by the end, we're breaking down the core principle that makes Aspinall so dangerous. A concept you can use in your own training to move smarter, strike cleaner, and control the pace of any fight. This isn't about copying his moves, it's about understanding the system that makes them work. Let's break it down. First, Aspinall doesn't waste time trying to prove he's faster or stronger. He just shows it, immediately. His jab isn't a feeler, it's a trigger. He uses it to control range, bait reactions, and disguise level changes. And when he chooses to explode, it's already too late. The moment his opponent bites, he's already off angle, slipping a shot, or timing a level change into a takedown or a clean right hand. But that's only half the equation. It's his decision-making that's elite. Tom doesn't chase finishes. He manufactures them. If you pressure him, he counters off pivots or shoots under your strikes. He's doing all this with heavyweight power, but with middleweight speed. That's why Aspinall isn't just winning, he's erasing top contenders in minutes. This isn't brute force, it's a calculated demolition. But one thing's already clear. Tom Aspinall is building a blueprint for the next generation heavyweight fighter. Let's dive deeper.
Tom Aspinall is the real deal. My goodness.
Tom Aspinall doesn't just move well for a heavyweight. He moves like a middleweight who hits like a truck. But what really sets him apart isn't just the physical talent, it's the why behind the movement. Every bounce, every shift in stance, every feint, it's not just motion, it's manipulation. He's not dancing around the cage, he's shaping the fight. Aspinall uses in and out footwork not to stay light, but to stay influential. He floats just outside the pocket, not far enough to disengage, but close enough to make you nervous. He'll flick a feint, dip his level, twitch a shoulder, and then pull away before you can even touch him. That little rhythm disrupts your own. It creates doubt, pressure builds, and that's exactly what he wants. Because when you finally throw, the trap snaps shut. and Aspinall doesn't just evade, he intercepts. These are not wild counters, they are calculated responses to predictable reactions, timed, placed, and executed with surgical precision. This is the fundamental of Aspinall's brilliance. He multiplies the consequences of your choices. And all this is happening while he's reading more than just your strikes. He's reading your structure, posture, timing, and intent. It's not just reaction, it's a system-level pattern recognition. Defensively, he's just as cerebral. You won't catch him shelling up in panic. Instead, Aspinall uses shoulder rolls like a seasoned boxer, allowing punches to slide across his frame while he stays loaded to return fire. When the pressure mounts, he doesn't retreat blindly. He pulls away with purpose, shifting weight while creating angles, staying just out of range but close enough to punish your next mistake. Everything connects. Every movement is a question. Every reaction, a solution. He's not just countering, he's controlling. But his unpredictability doesn't stop with his feet, because the next layer of his game, arguably one of the most overlooked aspects, is the way he uses timing and feints to manipulate reactions before you've ever even thrown a punch.
When you fight Tom Aspinall, there's one thought that never leaves your mind. Is he attacking right now? That ever-present threat of an explosive blitz, that sudden, terrifying burst, is what allows Aspinall to weaponize one of the most underappreciated tools in high-level striking, the feint.
So feints are like, I really work on my feints a lot. That is done 100% of the time. Like if you can convince yourself in the mirror with a fake or a feint or whatever you're doing, you can convince somebody else.
But make no mistake, these aren't wild, theatrical fakes. Tom's feints are surgical. His most dangerous? Foot feints. Quick, subtle shifts in weight, short half steps forward, or sudden hip twitches that mimic a real entry. They create just enough of a threat to freeze his opponent without ever needing to commit. And here's where the genius kicks in. Tom isn't always feinting a strike. Often, he's feinting to gather intel. He steps in, not to hit, but to read you. Do you jab? Do you flinch? Do you backpedal? Each response tells him something. And once he's got the read, he starts crafting the blueprint for your dismantling. In his fight against Curtis Blades, the pattern was instant. Every foot feint drew a jab. Over and over. Predictable, automatic. Tom recognized it immediately. And, like any good technician, he stored it. Then, he exploited it. Now, compare that to his bout with Alexander Volkov. Tom had Volkov backed against the cage. He flashed a foot feint, and Volkov barely reacted. No step, no jab, just tension. With that read, he immediately attacked with a jab to the chest, a precise, data-driven strike to test Volkov's defenses. Next, let's break down the types of feints Aspinall uses and how he chains them together for maximum effect. Once your brain is keyed in on his feet, Tom brings in the shoulders and hands. Subtle twitches, shoulder rolls, half-pumped jabs keep your eyes guessing. He rarely throws the first real punch until he's sure you're reacting to ghosts. Against Volkov, Tom used the hand feints while staying rooted, forcing reactions without movement. Volkov bit on ghost jabs and then opened his guard, only to get punished down low. Feinting, of course, isn't just visual, it's about timing. This irregular timing is disorienting. It prevents his opponents from settling, timing, or building any flow. Every pause feels dangerous. Every twitch could be the start of a blitz. That's not just movement, it's psychological warfare. Because Tom has a legitimate grappling game, even a shallow drop in level demands respect. Against Sergey Pavlovich, even a minor shoulder dip froze Sergey mid-exchange, a fatal hesitation against someone as quick as Tom. The brilliance in feinting lies in energy control. For Aspinall, feinting keeps him active without exhausting his gas tank. For his opponents, feinting creates a constant stress, forcing them to flinch, parry, shift weight, or throw off-balance counters. Even the smallest twitch costs energy, and over time, that energy bleeds out. As Aspinall told Michael Venom Page in an interview,
so if I can get, especially big, strong, muscular guys, if I can get them doing this, twitching and tensing up like that, will
drain them.
I like to overwhelm the nervous system.
Nice.
That's what I like to try and do. A lot of my attack.
Tom Aspinall is one of the fastest heavyweights the sport has ever seen. But what makes Aspinall truly special isn't just that he's fast. It's how he uses that speed, and more importantly, how he builds his entire fight game around it. This isn't just athleticism. It's a system, a philosophy, a way of fighting that prioritizes speed over everything else, even power. In a division where most fighters move like tanks and swing like sledgehammers, Aspinall moves like a sniper, sharp, efficient, lethal. And it all stems from one core belief: faster is better, faster is harder, faster is safer. At first glance, it's easy to mistake Aspinall's knockouts for raw, brute force. But watch closely and you'll see something different. You'll see no wind-up, no telegraph, no exaggerated follow-through. Instead, what you get are straight-line punches, tight frames, and precision over punishment. Because in the heavyweight division, everyone has power, but very few have speed. In lower weight classes like featherweight, knockouts are rare and reserved for the few who possess real punching power. But at heavyweight, with that much mass behind every strike, it's not how hard you hit, it's about who hits first. Tom Aspinall understands this better than most. Watch Aspinall's knockout over Sergey Pavlovich at UFC 295. In a division stacked with power punchers, Pavlovich is arguably the most dangerous of them all. A first-round finisher with nukes in both hands. Yet Aspinall walks in, took center cage, and beat him to the punch, literally. Within 69 seconds, Aspinall dropped Pavlovich twice using a tight 1-2, clean straight punch with no wasted motion. No loops, no overcommits, just speed and timing. Against Alan Baudat, flurry of short, snappy punches overwhelms Baudat, not with wild force, but with pure speed and precision. The reason Aspinall's punches land faster is because his mechanics are built for speed. His shots come directly from his stance, no shoulder pullback. His strikes stay tight to his frame, minimizing wasted movement and allowing for faster target acquisition. With his compact form, he doesn't have looping haymakers, just efficient delivery. This makes his attacks hard to see and even harder to time. Watch how Aspinall enters striking range. He doesn't lunge or load. He uses quick half steps, no step entries, or explosive bursts from a neutral stance. These mini surges allow him to land while staying in position to either angle off or sprawl. Aspinall's commitment to speed isn't just about offense, it protects him defensively as well. Tom uses mobility and distance management to stay safe. He exits on angles after combinations. He uses short retreats instead of covering up. This allows him to probe with speed without exposing himself. In his fight against Alexander Volkov, After landing a quick combination, Aspinall immediately pivoted out of range, negating Volkov's attempt to counter with a powerful right hand.
Vision full of tanks. Aspinall moves like a sports car. Fast, smooth, and uncatchable. With the perfect balance of raw athleticism and razor-sharp fight IQ, Tom Aspinall has become one of the most unstoppable forces in modern heavyweight MMA. Every move is intentional, every exchange is calculated, and so far, no one has had the answer. The fight that fans are still dreaming of is the heavyweight unification bout, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, the old guard versus the new wave. That fight may never happen. And maybe it's not just because of injuries, timing, or contracts. Maybe it's because Jon Jones sees exactly what we see. Not just a big, explosive athlete, but a fighter with the mind to break legends. A fighter that could not only challenge him, but possibly finish him. And while most of us will never move like Aspinall, never hit like him, never glide across the canvas with that kind of precision, we can still learn from him. Because Aspinall's greatest strength isn't his speed, it's his clarity. He knows exactly who he is. And he knows where he excels. And he builds his style around that truth, without ego, without illusion. And that's something every martial artist, amateur or elite, can apply. If you look at yourself honestly, if you can identify your strengths and your limits, and you can build a style that reflects your true self rather than chasing someone else's paths, then, like Aspinall, you're not just fighting harder, you're fighting smarter. And that's when martial arts becomes something more. From the Modern Martial Artist, this has been Coby McKinley and
Christian.
Wishing you happy training.
And if you like this video, make sure to check out our most recent video where we break down the monumentous occasion of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the real life David versus Goliath.